I like is that the topic of today is going beyond talk, and it also talks about transformational leadership. We need to appreciate that patriarchy and other discriminatory practices that affect women and other populations are designed to marginalize routinely and systematically other groups. So these are designed systems. So we must then be able to understand them, we must be able to confront them, and we must be able to resolve them. And the instruments like the gender index help us to be able to visualize them and develop interventions to deal with them. If we don't have these gender machineries, we don't have the tools to assess. If you can count it, you can't. If you can measure it, you can achieve it. So these tools help us to even identify exactly where the problems are and where we should intervene. I'm glad that South Africa, for instance, has been cited as one of the countries that are leading in one area or the other, that have regressed perhaps in other areas. I myself presented on behalf of women in the ANC data that clearly identifies where we have regressed as a country and where we are making progress. For instance, access to education, women, young girls are really making it. There's no longer a ceiling. If you look at, for instance, even access to health has improved quite significantly. More needs to be done, but we have broken the ceilings. We need to consolidate. But if you look at, for instance, access to water, access to electricity, especially with this load shedding, which for me it's just bad leadership and bad management. We must hold leaders accountable for those areas. But some are natural disasters like COVID was, and like the floods and all that. We must always say, how do these events affect men and women? As I indicated, my sister, I said it is important to plant the seed of equality amongst young people and children in particular. So we need to reflect on how we nurture the children, our household, how we relate, how we affirm both the girls and the boys, what we teach in schools, and those are foundational to making sure that we fast-track progress. We don't have to wait for 110 years to make progress in a number of areas.
Now, talking about the issue of electricity and water by extension affecting the pumps, but as the ruling party, many people are saying, as you spoke about taking accountability, you must take accountability.
Well, yes, we must take accountability, my sister, because it is the people we send to resolve, the people we employed, the professionals we also employed to assist our communities, to assist us who disappointed us. And that is why we are also making interventions. Leadership is about looking at areas of weaknesses and decisively tackling them. Leadership is looking at areas of progress and consolidating that. So we mustn't throw the baby with the bathwater. South Africa has made significant progress. With the Nelson Mandela, we started the 30% quota for women representation. It was the first time in 2019 that we had 50-50 ministers in the executive. So we must always push. But what I've also learned myself is that it doesn't matter where you are in society. If always you are known for certain values, you'll always be pulled up. You'll always be asked to assist. And I have been asked by women in my organization to stand up with them and for them and be part of also historical 3 women in the executive that makes sure that women contribute to a better leadership by the African National Congress. And we are seeing the renewal agenda on track, and we will do everything possible to create this a better society for both girls and boys, and for men and women.
You are part of the ANC top leadership. When is the president going to make changes to the executive?
Yes, I know that the president is ready, and that the president has been consulting, and that it will not be too long. The president will announce the reshuffling. I just want to encourage South Africans to look beyond just individuals. We are looking at a collective that will take South Africa forward, and it is really not an issue in terms of who actually gets there. It must be competent people of credibility and who are committed to taking South Africa forward that we put together. So the president, in my opinion and my understanding, is ready and will shortly be announcing.